Hi there! Welcome to this video where we're going to do a super fun and effective drawing exercise. If you've been around for a little while, you know I love flowers, and I've actually went on a small scavenger hunt in the house to find Hyacinth. And the beauty about Hyacinth, besides from the because they smell really good, they're intense, but they have a lot of flowers, a lot of blooms, single blooms that are all very, very similar but different. And when you have an hyacinth, you can really practice foreshortening and just how the perspective changes in a flower blossom when you change the angle of your flower. So we are going to do that today. I'm going to sketch two different angles and I'm going to use a circle technique. Today we're going to use just a pencil and a fineliner, so it's going to be completely just sketching, but this is a great way to observe the flower and get to know the flower, and this will come in super handy when you are starting your watercolor works as well. So let's get started. So I am set up here with just a regular sketchbook and my pencil. It's a 3B Bruynzeel, I think it's Dutch. So apologies for the pronunciation. And I have my fineliners over here to just kind of touch up our sketch. But today I'm not going to sketch an entire hyacinth, but the small blossoms it's made of, because it's made of so many blossoms and it's a great drawing exercise. And we're going to use the technique of circles, and you can use this in other flowers as well. The principle is that you have a circle around the petals. I'm just going to show you actually, because I have an example here. You have a circle around the petals, like that. And then you have a smaller circle down here that is kind of the bottom of the flower. And we're going to work with the big circle first, and you can see how it's the tip of each petal that touches this, and the circle will vary, of course, at what angle you see the flower. And then afterwards we can attach it to the back, and the back of the flower here will of course also vary when we vary the angle of the flower. So I'm going to do a couple of flowers at different angles so you can see how we can use this technique. So I'm going to take a good look at my flower and choose a bloom, and I'm gonna pull up a photo of it so you can see it here. And you can see how it's open to the left, and I'm just going to draw a circle here. It's a rather big circle. You can always vary it, but this is just a starting point to kind of get us in touch with this flower and its anatomy. That was not easy to say. Then we have the smaller circle, and you can see it's actually not that far from the big circle here, like that. It's pretty small compared to the big one. The next thing you want to do is to show where in the circle you kind of have the middle, and you can't see into the center of the flower, but you can see that it kind of breaks here. And that's just because we have some petals that are facing that way. They are shorter than the ones that are facing that way. So we're trying to keep this middle a little bit further to the right. And I'm going to start with the petals that are in front of me, so, or closest to me. So that is the ones that are facing backwards. And right now we're just doing a quick line. Don't think too much about the details just yet. We're going to do that in Fineliner afterwards. But this is just kind of to give ourselves a guide to place the petals, because placement of the petals can be a little bit difficult. You can see how now there's a big gap here. That's because we needed to attach, of course, to the back here afterwards. I'm going to give this one a petal. And here. You don't have to use this much time on each and every petal when you're doing an entire flower. I'm going to show you one afterwards, so you can see how it looks when they are kind of gathered together. Because when you have a lot of blooms, the single blooms don't matter that much, but we need to kind of have the anatomy down, and it makes it so much easier to sketch all of the flowers easily and fast. So now you can see how each and every tip here touches the edge of the first big circle, and now we can attach it to the back circle here, and it goes out that way, and it's actually this petal that are going to meet here, so like that. It actually looks a little bit too big. You can see that, so we can always edit, and I'm just going to put it even closer here. That's the beauty of not doing this in Fineliner first. We can always edit like that. So now we have a flower here, and there was a weird sound out at the back. I think it was a cat, but you never know. There's snow outside at the moment, and they are going crazy about it. They hate snow. I'm going to take my 01, and we can add in some details, because right now it's just a framework. And I think I'm actually going to start with the ones that are bending again. And here you want to pay attention to where the petals are kind of has small flaps or imperfections or stuff like that can kind of breathe a little bit life into your sketch. Because often it's the imperfections that are going to help you with that. So for example, it has a little bit of a dent there at the tip. Oh, sorry. This petal up here has a bend to it, so I'm going to draw the outer edge of the petal first, which is the thing that is flapping inwards. And I'm going to do this one over here. And then we have a back side of this petal. And I actually, if you want to learn more about how to put some life into your floral sketches, I actually have a freebie. It's a small ebook with tips, and you can grab that in a link in my description here below, so you can find that easily. And you will also join my newsletter, which is a great place, because I am sending out news about new videos and stuff, and I'm actually planning on doing a floral challenge, 31-day and month challenge in March, called Floral March. So when you are on the newsletter, you'll be first to know. So you're more than welcome to check that out. And I'm just going to finish up my last petals here. And Floral March will of course also include a hyacinth, because it's going to be spring. Spring, spring, spring flowers, and I love it. I can't wait for spring. And seriously, I love all the snow that's here at the moment, but I can't wait for some flowers to appear on the ground. So now we have our our petals, and you can see how they instantly became much more alive with the bends here. And now we can just add our back here. And this has a small stem there. And this is actually all there is to it. And then you can add, I'm just going to show you real quick, just grabbing a smaller fineliner, and then you can add some bends, even more bending lines, so you kind of get it to move around. Shaping lines like that. And then you can remove the pencil lines with this. But not going to do that. I am actually going to draw another flower for you, because we want to see it at a different angle. You can see I've chosen a different one now, and this one is looking very much from the side. So we can create our circle, making it wider, still pretty wide, but longer. So more like this. And then we have our small circle here at the back. And the center of the flower, before we had it over here, we had it in here, closer to the right edge, but on this one we are going to keep it very close to the left edge, so more around here, maybe here. So again, let's start with the petals that are closest to us, which is again the ones that are bending backwards. Here they are actually all bending backwards, but I think you know what I mean. So starting with this big one. And there's really, I know this, it can be difficult to grasp the concept of foreshortening, and some of the petals are looking weird, and they are, because that's how real life actually looks when we are seeing flowers. But don't worry about it. It will come with some practice, and I promise you your sketches will become so much more interesting when you start actually using the different angles. I always try to include different angles, and also very often try to include some different growth stages as well, just to kind of make it more interesting. Again, you can see more about that in my freebie that you can find in the section below. Let's see, we can just have that. You can see how this is so foreshortened that you can actually almost only see the top here, and then it's hiding behind this petal over here, and then I have one that is almost tucked in here behind. So this is our big petals, and I can see I've placed this too far away again, so I'm just going to pull it a little bit closer, And we can start attaching the back here. Like that. And you can see how this is turned a lot more to the left than this. And let's see if we can bring it to life with some fine liner. So I'm just going to start with the same petal here. Trying to look for some bends, and this one actually has a small one here, so just adding that in. And it's kind of tucking in there. Then I have this. You can actually see a little bit of the back there. And if you want to try exploring some more hyacinth flowers and want me to see them, you are very welcome to post them on Instagram and use the hashtag Camilla Damsbo Art Inspired. I'll check that from time to time to see what you've created. And of course tag me so you are sure to notice me about it. And that. And then we have that cute one that was kind of tucked in here. And the one that was almost hidden here behind. And then we have, of course, the back. And it's ending in a small stem there as well. And I'm not going to go into stems today, but just know that don't just draw the entire way across here, because that will make it look like it's not belonging there. So that's just a small pro tip for you. We're just going to add a few lines just for the fun of it. And also to show the curve, it makes it so much easier to see how these petals are going inwards and how they are foreshortened when you add these lines. Doesn't take much, it just needs a little bit to give it that shape. So there we have it. I'll just erase the circles so we can see how they look. And this one. Oh, I love that. You can easily see how this will look in a big flower arrangement on an entire hyacinth. So I hope you will give it a try. That was fun. So we have two beautiful blooms. I know it's not a complete hyacinth, but I actually just wanted to show you one so you can kind of see where it'll take you. Let's see if I can get this in focus. Yes. You can see how together with a few petals and also a few leaves and a bulb, you can really arrange this into a beautiful hyacinth, and it'll enhance your work so much when you have these blooms from different angles. Also here in this sketch, I've included some early blooms, some buds. And pro tip, don't do a quick sketch and plan to finish it later when it's buds, because they will grow. So if life happens, kids are screaming, stuff like that, your flower will not stop growing, even if you started a sketch and didn't finish it. So pro tip, leave it or keep it or finish it, or just say that it's okay that life happens. I hope you will try out some Hyacinth, and make sure to subscribe to my newsletter or grab my freebie. If you grab the freebie, you will subscribe as well, and you will get notified when I start the early bird prize for Floral March, which is this wonderful month-long challenge with spring flowers, and I can't wait to get started on that. But more on that later. Now we want to just practice on some small blooms and just keep angling your flower, and it'll be absolutely incredible. You can just keep going because it's like a forever exercise. So you just keep going till the kids are screaming or whatever. You need to do laundry and stuff. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining. And if you haven't already, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. Then you can keep seeing videos from me. Woohoo! Have a wonderful day, and I will see you around.